What is up, YouTube? Today we are doing part 2 of homemade lifted go-kart. So in part 1, I got the frame almost done. I still already have some few things to do for the frame, but pretty much the frame's done. I still have to fix this. This is definitely an issue. I fixed it on the front. How I did that was I just took a square tubing, solid steel square tubing, and I welded it from there to there, and then I bolted it from there to there, so therefore it's still able to move up and down, but it doesn't move back and forth, which is awesome. Works right there, but I have no idea how the fuck I'm gonna do it on this side because the gearbox is in the way, and pulley system, and just basically everything's in the way. So kind of thinking about just doing it right here, having it come up a little bit, going up, and then that will go up to there. So I don't know, something like that. But so I got the motor on. That's where the motor's gonna go. Still have to finish welding it all together and welding the base plate on, and then I still want to take more tubing and put it there just to strengthen the sides. I also got the gearbox on, and I figured out where the pulleys are gonna go, and got those in order. So that's gonna work. I tried this thing out, and this thing is going to be pretty fast. I hooked my drill up to this thing, which this is going to be going on the motor. Put this on my drill, and I sped it up, and these tires are spinning really fast. So this thing is going to be going very fast. So, but that was in 5th gear. So there's 5 gears. So this thing is going to be really tricky. It's also very, very top heavy. So I am definitely going to want to put a roll cage on this thing. A couple days ago I went to the scrap yard and bought a crap ton more steel. All this is a round steel square tubing. It's an 1/8 inch thick by 1 inch in diameter. I think that's the ID. So yeah, got a bunch of that. Only cost me like 25 bucks. And I also bought this. This is a 1 foot by 5 foot, I think. It's pretty thick. I'm not entirely sure how thick it is. Pretty heavy plate. So that plate will be going on the front, so your feet don't fall through. So that hopefully will work just fine. And I don't want to just lay it on top of here and your feet will be up here. I want to lower this thing just a tiny little bit so your feet will not be on top of it, it'll be in it. And I also don't want to just set the seat on top of here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece, weld it from here to here, then cut it from here to here, there to there, and then set the seat on this. So you're not on here, you're on here. That's at least like, I don't know, 5-6 inches lower. So you're not actually sitting on top of the frame, you're more sitting in the frame. So it will lower how high I need to put the roll cage, and it will lower the how high you are. So yeah, I'm not really explaining in detail on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it, just because I want to get this thing done. It's kind of hard because half of you just want to see the progress and want me to shut the hell up. The other half want me to explain in detail how I did everything, why I did everything, and to what extent, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of hard to please both of you guys. So with this project, I'm just gonna do a bunch of stuff, work on a bunch of stuff, and then show you what I did, and then just keep working on a bunch of stuff, and then eventually it'll be done. So yeah, part 2, the frame is done, the motor's on, the gearbox is on. Still have to figure out a couple more stuff, but this thing is almost ready to test ride. That'll be awesome. Still need to put on the seat, put on the pedals and all that stuff, and then once I get everything done, then I can put the roll cage on just to finalize how everything goes and all that stuff. So yeah, looking good. This thing is definitely heavy as fuck. I'll be honest, I can't pick it up. I can't even pick up the back end without hurting my back. So this thing is definitely heavy. And it's not even done yet, so yeah, this thing's going to be very heavy. So yeah, I'm really glad I bought these really big springs just to hold everything up. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working on it. Okay, so I'll be honest. It's been a long time since I made the last little clip that you just saw. Kind of not. I can't remember what I did to this thing since the last little clip that you just saw. So I'm just gonna kind of go over everything. Hopefully, I don't repeat anything. I kind of seem to do that in a lot of my videos when I'm editing them. I'm like, wow, I said that 5 times over the last 2 minutes about the same thing. But anyway, so hopefully I don't repeat anything. Hopefully I don't miss anything. So yeah, it's been a long time. I'm kind of working on this thing every day. This project has come very slowly. Something this size just has a lot of stuff I need to do to it. The clutch alone took me an entire day to make. Just trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it work took me like 5 hours, and then it took me like 3 hours just to make it, just to build it. So this thing is coming along very slowly. Did I do the steering last little video? I don't know. So yeah, I got the steering done, as you can see. Hopefully I didn't mention this in the last video, but steering works. So a little bit of play in there. Not happy about that, but no big deal. Hopefully no big deal, but right now it's almost a full 360 that the steering wheel turns. It's almost a full 360. So that's that. And then that's that way. So that is totally left. And then that right here is totally right. So how I did that was I made a rack and pinion set. So I just took a steel bar and I made it slide in between these things right here. Took a, I'm not entirely sure how many teeth that sprocket has, so I'm just not going to say how many teeth it has because I have no idea. Took that sprocket, took a chain, welded the chain onto here, made the sprocket spin, and made this to, because it's offset a little bit, so I had to make that. So let me make sure the camera doesn't shake while I make it. There we go. So that is how that works. Like that. There we go. So yeah, that's how that works. Works great, except for the play in there. Hopefully nothing breaks in there while I'm driving this thing, because if anything, any welds snap or anything, the wheels are just going to want to go anywhere. And so yeah, hopefully that works. Hopefully nothing breaks on it, and hopefully it lasts a very long time. Hopefully the play in the steering wheel doesn't make this entire cart just drift back and forth when it's in 5th gear. So oh, I got the gas pedal done, so that works. Still need to make a stop for it, so you can't press it down all the way, because right now that's full throttle, and you can still press it down all the way to the floor. So you need to make a stop for it so your foot doesn't want to mash this thing down and it breaks a cable or something. So yesterday I started this thing up just to make sure this would work, and I thought that I set the throttle backwards. That's how high the RPM was. So that's how high the RPM was set. So you need to fix that. You need to set that little pin to make the that butterfly valve in the carburetor to make sure it's set right. So still haven't done that yet. Still need to tune up the throttle a lot more. So throttle's not done, but right now it works. So yeah, hopefully it lasts a long time without breaking. So what's next? So I got the gear changer done, but so it works. That's 5th gear. That's the reverse, so that's neutral, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So it's kind of cool how 5th is like facing forward. So that's how you remember. Back is reverse. All the way forward is the fastest. So you can see how that works. So yeah, so that works. Still haven't made it to where you can tell what gear it is. Tell what gear it is in. So So how I'm gonna do that is I have a spring right there. It's gonna spring it this way. So you have to push it this way, change the gear, and it'll set. I'll make a plate that goes over here where it has teeth. So it'll set in these teeth like a normal riding mower. You know how you push it forward, you move it to the first gear, and it sets in a tooth. So therefore it doesn't vibrate and move into second and third gear. So still need to make that. Still need to make it to where it springs forward, and you can tell which gear it is in. So still haven't done that, and but that works just fine. So hopefully it works. I don't know. That's next. So what is else? I don't think I mentioned about the clutch. So here's the clutch. Right now it's engaged. That's how you disengage it. Let it go to engage it. So when you want to start it, you put it in neutral. Press this down, you start it. And when you want to roll forward, you put it in first and slowly let this out, and it will roll forward, just like a normal standard car or truck. So that's how that works. It took me an entire day to figure out how to make it work, because it was kind of tricky. You can see that. So that moves that, and then that moves that back and forward, and then that moves something right there that slides back and forth. And right now it's kind of being held back by a bungee cord, but that's not permanent. That's only temporary. Eventually I will go to Tractor Supply and buy a spring, and it'll make it spring powered. So yeah, I haven't really tested to see if the clutch works or not, but I kind of just put it in, disengaged it and rolled it forward, and it did roll forward without spinning that pulley right there. So hopefully that works. Hopefully it won't, you know, just roll forward even if it's disengaged or not. So I still got a lot of work to do on this thing. I still have the brakes. I still have to finish the gas pedal, finish tuning the idle up. Still need to fix the clutch to make sure. Excuse me. And yes, I do burp in every video. So still need to put a spring on there. Get that bungee cord off. Still need to make the. Still need to it to tell you what gear it's in. That's gonna help a lot. And once that's done. Once the brakes are done, so the brakes are very important, and once the brakes are done and all that stuff is fixed, I'm going to take this thing out for a test drive. So that's probably the next video, is me and my friend taking this thing out and test driving it, making sure everything works before I put the roll cage on. And if everything works, roll cage, battery, starter button, on-off switch. On-off is very important. It's probably going to actually be next. It's very important to be able to turn off your motor just in case the clutch doesn't disengage or the throttle is stuck wide open or something. So yeah, this thing is coming together very slowly, but it's definitely worth this thing. This thing is very cool. As you can see, as I back up, this thing just fits in my garage. This thing is kind of a nightmare to have it in here. It's a nightmare to work on. I have to roll it out, just to turn it around, roll it back, just to, you know, work on the other side. This thing's huge. So yeah, definitely a very interesting project. So definitely, you know, progress is very, very slow. Alright. Alright. We're gonna fix the idle with this while he's on it, and then we're gonna test it. He's gonna drive it. You ready? Hey, how are we gonna turn this off in case it goes wild? What you're gonna do is you're gonna. It's not gonna work. You can put your thumb in there and block out the air. I'll try. If you put your hand down there, it's not gonna do anything. I'm gonna try it. Let's try it. Oh shit! Oh shit, stop. What was that?
I don't know.
What was that? Was that the backfire or is that the gearbox?
A little bit of everything, I think. Oh my god. Oh, that scared me. Oh, shit. Alright, let's try it again.
Don't put it in 5th gear.
It's not, it's in first, I think.
First?
I think.
Is the GoPro still recording?
Probably, yeah.
GoPro's still recording. Yep. It's good.
Alright, let's go.
Ready?
No.
Oh, shit!
What the fuck?
Oh, fuck, man!
Did it just...
Oh, shit!
God damn.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's
oh, fuck, man. Do you know what this means?
That's first gear.
Well, doesn't matter now because this thing's trash. This gearbox was the whole thing. I designed this whole frame around the gearbox. And now the fucking thing's destroyed. Well, guys, I'm not really sure what to tell you. This project's gonna have to be postponed for a little time. I'm definitely not giving up on this thing. I want to finish this thing. It's just that because the gearbox literally just, you know, tore in half. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do now, because there's absolutely no way I can weld that, because I'm not entirely sure what kind of metal this is, but yeah, this is no way I can weld this, you know. It's just way too bad. So and yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened. What I think happened is it was in first gear and he just let out the clutch, and there was just so much pressure from the belt pulling it this way that it just popped up and just all that just snapped. So so yeah, and I know, please don't bother writing in the comments how much I have this thing geared way too high. I know I have this thing geared way too high. I didn't know that when I was just building it, you know. A lot of this stuff, a lot of my projects, I just guess at the gearing, and if it's wrong, then I just change it. That's why I make it easy for me to change. That's why I made these hubs stick out. If I need to change this is the part I would change. I'd just grind that weld right there and it'd just pop right off, and I'd put a new one on. So I've thought about if I can make it to where I don't use the gearbox, I just go straight from the motor to the axles, because there's two separate axles, and because the motor has a vertical shaft and these are horizontal axles, not sure I can do that without a gearbox. So and I do have a horizontal shaft motor, that 13 horsepower red motor that I put on that tiny go-kart. I do have that, but I just wouldn't be able to, you know, make it to where there would be two separate axles. You know, I would need some kind of differential. So I'm probably just gonna put it by my shed, throw a tarp over it, and wait till I find a new gearbox. Try to find the exact same one of this kind. I'm not sure what kind of gearbox this is. I know I got it off of a Sears, but I'm really hoping I can find a new one, or I can, if not, I'll just figure out a way to make this thing run without a gearbox, without some, you know, I don't know. I'll figure out something. But for now, I'm not giving up. I'm just, you know, I'm just moving on, because right now there's really big disappointment. I've been working every day on this thing, busting my ass trying to finish this thing, and then this happens. Honestly, I'm kind of actually glad it happened now, instead of I finish this thing and then I jump on it for the first time and then it breaks. That would have really been a disappointment for me. But yeah, so I'm glad it broke now versus when I got finished with it. But I'm gonna stop rambling on, and yeah, I'm just gonna move this thing and work on other projects because I'm not really entirely sure what I can do with this thing now because of that. So yeah, thank you for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.